This is Global Study Talks, the podcast of educations.com.
Hi, Nanako. Welcome to Global Study Talks. How are you today?
Very good.
I'm really excited to have you on the podcast. You are, if I'm not mistaken, the first person we're interviewing that is coming from Asia and studying in a completely different continent. You studied in the U.S., and I'm really
Yes.
excited to hear all about it because I think it's a very interesting journey to go from one side of the world to the other. It's something that a lot of people are scared of, I think. A lot of people think as this huge thing, but I would like to kind of make it simpler for people to understand how possible it is for people to accomplish today. So, with that being said, can you give us a little bit of an introduction of yourself, where you come from, what you did, what you studied?
I'm Nanako and I'm from Japan. And I'm currently studying at George Washington University in DC, United States. And my major is higher education administration. And I'm specifically focusing on diversity, equity, and inclusion on campus. Before starting my master's study, I worked for a national university back in Japan as an admin staff member. I am also a volunteering project member of a nonprofit organization empowering young women. I combine the two of the experience, my professional job and volunteering experience, and studying in the US to hone my skills and accumulate the expertise.
That is so interesting, especially considering that you were working at your university in admin there. Would you say that that is part of the reason that motivated you to study abroad? What was that reason that really made you go to the US?
Yes, my working experience is, of course, one of the reasons. But when I was an undergrad student, I participated many short-term international exchange programs, but I didn't study abroad for more than 1 month. In Japan, I couldn't find any programs focusing on university administration. So I want to study abroad and I want to go to the US.
Okay, so it's really interesting that you did a bunch of small exchanges
Yes,
during
yes.
your bachelor's. Do you remember where you went during those exchanges?
Yes, so first I went to the UK and then I went to the US, both East and West Coast several times. And I also went to Vietnam and I also went to Germany.
That's a lot of destinations, a lot of interesting
Yes,
experiences, I bet.
yes,
Yeah, so it makes sense that, I mean, after all of these experiences, you'd want to go abroad for a degree, right?
yes.
What made you go specifically to the US? Was it your experience there that you said, your exchange, or was it anything more?
So when I searched for programs, I found many degree programs in higher education administration in the US. And another reason is that I have a strong connections in DC. So one of the programs that I participated in my college days was a global leadership program here in DC. And I keep contacting with the program manager or some of the lecturers or program founders. So yeah, and they supported me to navigate the career trajectories. Yeah, so and just having the network uh, is a big advantage, I believe. So I chose the DC for my destination.
That's amazing. And it goes to show how important networking is in general. So you had set your mind on DC specifically because of the specific program and the connections you had. So Had you ever at any point thought about exploring other options?
Yes, so I applied some other universities in different cities and countries. But what I prioritize is the program content. And the second thing is if the city has good public transportation and safety, it's a big concern for me. So I applied to schools in Boston and also the Netherlands because I believe that Netherlands is a very pioneering and advanced countries in terms of diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Okay, this is really interesting, and I kind of want to unpack this. So, one of your criteria, then, of course, apart from the syllabus and the main contents of the course,
Yes,
which I think are important, or at least should be important for every
yes,
student that decides to take any program, whether that's in their country or abroad, you also looked into the safety and the public transportation,
yes,
and I assume just the general life in the
yes.
country, right? Uh, do you remember how you were looking for that information, how you found that?
So I focus on big cities in the country because I think the big cities usually has a transportation, a good public transportation, and I also think there are many opportunities to uh, develop my skills and meet new people in big cities. I just do like online searching, yeah, about the safety or public transportation. And if I know someone who already in the countries or cities, just ask questions.
I think the reason why I'm really surprised and pleasantly surprised, I would say, by these by this response is because a lot of people I'm interviewing usually talk about other criteria. They talk
Mm,
about either just the title or the syllabus of the program, or perhaps the ranking of the university,
mm,
or maybe they just know people there and so they're going there automatically. So a lot of people have different criteria when they choose to study abroad. But I don't really hear that often
mm.
how people consider the actual life and the safety and all these small things that people kind of take for granted. But
Yeah.
at the end, they're very important.
Yes.
This is also part of the reason why the podcast was created. But at educations.com, we really try to help bring all of this information together. So we would have the information about each university and program, but also the life in that city, in that country, what it looks like, what different information that
Mm.
anyone might be looking for. And so that entire information search of going on Google and looking on YouTube,
Yes.
I remember
Yes.
I did that a lot when I was trying to find my
Yes.
studies abroad. So it's great to showcase at this point in the podcast how much the internet has evolved, I think, in terms of studying abroad. And now there are
Mm.
websites like educations.com that have just everything
Yeah.
compiled. You decided to study abroad, right?
Yes.
You went to Washington, D.C., which sounds like an incredible opportunity. What would you say has been the highlight of your study abroad career so far?
I just finished my first year a
Mhm.
month ago. I think it's the biggest like achievement I can say. Yeah, yeah, honestly speaking, I faced so many challenges I didn't expect, like language barriers or cultural things, but I navigated all of them and I could learn a lot from my professors, from my classmates. Yeah, I was also involved in some extracurricular activities, yeah, in addition to the school works.
I want to focus a little bit on this because I know that the US, but also this extends to so many universities abroad, place a huge emphasis on doing extracurriculars while you're
Yes,
studying. And I know from my experience that has been amazing, but of course, different universities have, in different countries have different
yes.
extracurriculars. So, can you tell me a little bit about what you've done, what you've engaged yourself in? and how that has impacted your experience in Washington in general.
Yeah, so the latest thing that I did was attending academic conference. It was a regional conference in my field, and I got an opportunity to present my research or my study to the audience. So it was a great opportunity to put all of my learnings into one educational session for 1 hour. Of course, I could meet so many professionals in the field, and especially I was very motivated by meeting young professionals in my field or other international students studying higher education administration.
And it's great that the university provides you with these opportunities, right? To
Yes.
learn more, to put yourself on the stage, right? And
Yes.
develop this network.
Yes. So writing a conference proposal was one of the assignments that I had
Uh-huh.
in the first semester, and the instructor encouraged us students to actually submit it, and I take his words very seriously, and I submitted, and my proposal was accepted. It is another extracurricular activity just I wanna share. So last March, I went to New York to attend a UN conference and raise awareness of gender and peace-related issues in Japan, and yeah, and just build networks with feminists all around the world.
This is amazing. And I think it's truly inspiring for people to consider how like small actions, things that you're interested in, can actually just build on. You
Yes,
started by doing initiatives in Japan, in your
yes,
country, which just slowly evolved to you going to Washington, going to the UN.
yes.
So this is incredible, and I think it's a huge success story for the people that are listening, right?
Yeah.
Apart from that, would you say that your studies in Washington had any personal benefits to you? Do you feel any different in your personal life than compared to when you were in Japan?
Uh, yes. Yeah, I would say I have more agency
Hmm.
uh, with myself. Yeah, I have a greater self-agency and I can demonstrate a greater self-determination. In Japan, right, the normal life course is paved by society, and following the normal life course is mm, very important. But here in the US, it is us to decide how we live and what to do, what we do. Nobody cares what I do or, yeah, what I wear or how I behave or things like that. Yeah, and many people supports my decision, like studying abroad or like taking this class or doing this research, choosing this research topic for my assignments or things like that. So it is a very big advantage for me to live in the US.
I would say the US and Japan are very culturally different, right? So
Yes,
that
yes,
must have been a big change for you.
yes.
How was your entire journey in terms of getting to study abroad in the US? Is it something common for Japanese people to do?
Uh, so my family and people around me in Japan greatly support me uh, to be here in the US, but it's not a common thing to study abroad, and especially after working for some years. it is very difficult for me to find someone who did similar thing in my community in Japan.
I think support from your social circle means so much when you're deciding to make this huge
Yeah.
step. Especially when it's like in a country that's first of all so far away and so culturally different, but
Yes.
also a country that people don't usually go to from your country. Going back to the point of cultural differences, is there anything from your experience in the US that you feel was so much more different than what you were used to in your
Mm.
daily life, or either in your daily life or your academics, uh, that you felt was just like a huge culture shock?
Yeah, so here in the US, like individualism play a big role, I think. So when I am looking for a way to go on the street, not so many people talk to me, yeah, like for help in the US. But if I ask for help, they are very kind. In my academic life, the engagement expectation is totally different. In my class, students are expected to share our thoughts and ask questions, and very frequently, and the classes are so engaging and so interactive. But I'm not, the classes that I had in Japan didn't look like that. Yeah, so it was a bit shocking, and I am still struggling to like to fully contribute to the classes, which has a very different expectation. So it takes time to digest the class contents, but yeah, but I think it's a big opportunity for me to learn a lot because I don't have any prior knowledge. So I have so many things to learn compared for those who have some uh, prior knowledge.
As a closing note to the episode, I think the information you've given has been super insightful for people who are considering to study abroad. Um, I really want to know, I'm putting you on the spot a little bit, but I think a really interesting question to ask. If you have a best memory that you can think of from being in the US.
I got the opportunity to support a program that I participated in when I was undergrad student in DC. So the program was really life-changing for me. Without the program, I sure I wouldn't be here in DC right now. I'm a part of the program as a supporter or as an internship student to arrange the program.
Is
Yeah.
that the exchange program that you did?
Yes, yes,
Okay, okay, that is
yeah,
wonderful. So now you're
yes,
supporting the same program that you first went to the US with.
yes.
The last question I really want to ask you is if you have any tips for international students that want to study abroad in the US, what would you recommend to them? Do you have any advice?
Yes. So I think having a clear goal and clear passion is very important. The clear passion helps you to decide which school or which country we will go. And it is also very helpful when we face challenges. I could overcome the challenges that I faced because I have a goal that I want to achieve by overcoming these challenges and completing the study programs.
Goals are really important when you're considering to take such a big step, such as studying
Yes,
abroad in
yes,
general. But studying, I think, specifically in the US, depending on where you're from, comes with a lot of extra challenges, right? You're
yes,
talking about visas and about the application systems and the requirements and English. It's a lot of things to consider, but as
yeah.
long as you have this set goal in your head that you can achieve this and you will
Y-
achieve this,
yes,
yeah, that's the biggest motivation, I
yes.
think. That's amazing. I wish you the best, honestly, in your journey and
Yeah,
your
thank you.
endeavors. You seem like a very passionate individual, and I think this is exactly what studying abroad helps you achieve. You have
Yes,
ambitions, and then studying abroad really takes them to the next level, right?
yes.
Thank you so much for being in the podcast. Is there anything else you would like to say at this point?
It's my pleasure to share my stories, and I hope some of my experiences uh, help you to decide uh, who to make your decision.
Thank you so much, Nanako. Thank you for listening to Global Study Talks. If you are interested in studying abroad, check out educations.com and get all the help you need in every part of your study abroad journey. See you next time.